Speaker.
Gentleman from 33.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, members of the House, as a teacher of government and history for 37 years, I cannot begin to express my satisfaction that this bill has reached the House of Representatives. This bill is symbolic of a growing awareness throughout this country that our federal system of government needs to be finely tuned. Up until 1933, or up into the early 30s, we did really have a proper division of power between the national government and the states. I'll just use these books to symbolize. There's the power of the national government, there's the power of the states. A balanced power. This is what it's become since the 30s. There's the power of the national government, and there's the power of the states. And that process, the process that's led to this situation, has been a stretching of the Constitution of the United States, particularly the amendments like the 14th Amendment, where in 1868 that amendment was passed to provide legal protection for the freed slaves, due process and equal protection for the freed slaves. And then 105 years later, somehow magically, it legalizes abortion. That's an example of the ultimate stretching of the Constitution of the United States. And we're having the same thing here with the health care legislation. A stretching, this super magical stretching of the due process clause, which would somehow require people to buy health insurance. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that we pass this legislation. Let it play its course. But there needs to be a restoration of that balance. And I don't know how else to go about it. Let's let this legislation play its course. I believe we'll ultimately abide by whatever the Supreme Court says about this issue. I think it'll be a close vote. I think it'll be a 5-4 vote. It'll depend on what Justice Kennedy has for breakfast, I think, the morning that the decision is made. And hopefully it'll be a 5-4 decision in our favor. But let's pass this legislation. Let's let it take its course, and let's restore that proper balance of authority between the national government and the states. We're becoming an oligarchy. The government is becoming centralized into the hands of a few people living in Washington, D.C., and that's got to change. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker and members of the House.